very warm welcome to Newsline. I am Claire Adilapo Abdul-Razak, your pilot on tonight's journey. Now, as Robert Sude once said, no distance of place or lapse of time can lessen the friendship of those who are thoroughly persuaded of each other's worth. Now, this quote encapsulates the spirit of Newsline, and no matter where you are, we believe that connection and shared values transcend boundaries. So tonight, we have an exciting lineup that will inspire and captivate you. We have an incredible tale of survival, a tale of resilience and hope. We will also showcase innovation in Gari production, and of course that will take us to Kogi State, and explore the intersection of indigenous languages in sports. We have lots more, so buckle up for a ride, and let's start with our trending stories with Elizabeth Omori.
Thank you so much, Claire, and thanks for joining us on the news segment. The Nigerian government is equipping the marine police to secure the nation's waterways as part of strategies to boost the blue economy. Minister of State for Police Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, gave the assurance while inspecting marine police formations in State. Clement Barikwe has details.
Sea piracy is a major setback to socio-economic activities along the waterways of Akwa Ibom State, and this tour of marine police formations in the state by the Minister of State for Police Affairs is to identify the gaps in order to fortify the waterways for a robust blue economy, as envisaged by President Bola Tinubu.
With the vision that Mr. President has for the blue economy, it's very important that we do a total scan of our police marine environment to look at the operations and see how we can further support them, strengthen what they're doing.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Operations Baba Mohammed Azari took the minister around the various formations on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, Akwa Ibom State Command.
She has inspected these facilities that they will be able to upgrade them to be of better use to the police force.
The minister visited the Maritime Academy of Nigeria, Oron, to strike a partnership for the retraining of marine police personnel, as well as the Nigerian Navy ship Jubilee Ikonobasi, where she is suing for a sustained inter-agency collaboration. Clement Barikui, NTA News.
To flood mitigation, the federal government is supporting victims of flood across the country as Nasarawa state government receives 3 billion naira to mitigate impact of the natural disaster in the state. Governor Abdullahi Sule gave the fund, said the fund will be used to rehabilitate victims of the natural disaster in the state. Aliut Jani brings us details.
As rains intensifies across the country, more communities are by flooding, with houses destroyed and farmland washed away. Nasarawa is one of the states hit by the disaster this year, and federal government steps in to victims. 3 billion naira provided to support victims of flood in the state, and Governor Abdullahi Sule commends President Bola Tinubu for the intervention, assuring that the fund will be judiciously used.
We want to make sure that we, as every kobo we spend out of this 3 billion is accounted for and it is related to flood.
The people of the state appreciate President Tinubu for approving the conversion of the Lato Arab Specialist Hospital Lafia as Federal University of Lafia Teaching Hospital. The gesture, Governor Sule says, excites people of the state.
The first approval for the conversion actually came during the past administration, but as at that time, the approval was for the relocation of all the doctors, all the personnel and facilities, from FMC Kefi to come here, which was not exactly what we wanted. So we kept delaying and kept writing and kept pleading.
Other issues discussed at the State Executive Council meeting include payment of pensioners for local government retired staff, which the state government says henceforth will be funded by local government authority in view of Supreme Court judgment that affirmed their autonomy. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Kebbi State Government commenced distribution of relief materials and funds to victims of the recent flooding in the state. This is to ensure that they do not stay long in the various camps. Correspondent Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa reports.
The Kebbi State government, in preparation for the rainy season, coupled with the heavy downpour signal from NIMET, had embarked on sensitization at various local levels, cleared drainages and constructed water channels for easy flow of water. Despite these efforts, water, as they say, will always find its levels as it ravaged many communities. These did not only displace them, but their means of livelihoods.
We did our best to prevent the water from reaching our homes, but eventually it was beyond our control.
The Kebbi State government, through its Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, has commenced distribution of food and relief materials to provide temporary comfort.
We thank God for this support from the government. May God bless them.
I took about 100 million naira to Kokobesi and Shanga local governments, 50 million to Jega local government, 50 million to Argung local government. So we have a great leeway from the governor.
He also disclosed that SEMA is currently collaborating with NEMA to assess damages and provide relief materials to victims of the disaster. In Birnin Kebbi, Abdul Jalil Mohammed Bawa, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu congratulates the governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, as he marks his 55th birthday. The president commends Governor Zulum's approach to leadership, demonstrated by his unchoreographed pre-dawn inspections of rural and critical agencies to ensure their smooth operations and staff on hand to provide essential services at world-class standards. He also applauds the governor's courage, exemplified by his personal interventions in security situations in Borno State and in the recent resettlement of displaced citizens. The president appreciates Professor Zulum for providing leadership epitomized by his efforts towards ensuring the welfare of citizens from other parts of the country and in the promotion of experience. The president wishes him many more years in good health and renewed strength in his service to the nation. Meanwhile, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu congratulates newly sworn-in acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun, rejoicing with the new acting CJN on behalf of every Nigerian girl and woman. The First Lady, in a statement, says Justice Kekere-Ekun is an example that depicts the power of education, hard work, and consistency at a time when many youth feel they do not have worthy role models. A swearing in, the First Lady says, exemplifies that each girl and woman can aspire to get to the pinnacle of their chosen careers with dedication, hard work, and integrity. She prays that the tenure of the new acting CJN be marked by continued success and advancement of justice for all. A bit on security, FCT Police Command has confirmed attacks by the proscribed Islamic movement of Nigeria, popularly known as the Shiite group, on some personnel of the Nigeria Police Force attached to the FCT Command at Usemark Junction. 2 police personnel were killed, 3 unconscious in the hospital, and police patrol vehicles were set ablaze. A statement signed by the police public relations officer notes that the group attacked the police unprovoked, wielding machetes, improvised explosive devices, and knives. Several arrests have been made, and normalcy has returned to the area. And the Nigeria Police Force has rescued 20 medical students and other kidnapped victims who have been in captivity for some time now. Francis Form reports that IGP Kayode Egbetokun handed students to the Vice Chancellors of the Universities of Jos and Maiduguri at the Louis Edet House in Abuja.
Mr. President gave us a marching order. He told us that he wants his children back. And since then, we have not been sleeping. The successful rescue of these 27 individuals was achieved without the payment of any ransom. During the operation, our officers engaged the kidnappers in a well-coordinated tactical offensive. I am pleased to inform you that the kingpin of this notorious gang was neutralized during an exchange of fire with our operatives, while 2 other members of the gang were arrested.
Representative of Benue State Governor, Vice Chancellors of University of Maiduguri, and representatives of families applauded President Bola Tinubu's intervention and swift response of the force and Office of the National Security Advisor.
We turned the tide on insecurity and the many things that bedevil our nation. Hope has returned. Hope is here. And I want to thank the gallant men that went after these people.
Still talking security, air components of Operation Wild Punch have continued to track, locate and eliminate terrorists responsible for the recent upsurge in terrorist activities targeting innocent civilians in the Niger State. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Vice Marshal Edward Gapquet, says that intelligence gathered revealed that terrorists responsible for recent attacks on civilians, abductions and cattle rustling within Shiroro government area of Niger State are domiciled in Kaduna State. Consequently, the air components planned and executed an air interdiction mission on the terrorist stronghold in Malum Forest, eliminating several of terrorists. Similar strikes were also conducted on terrorist hideouts at Bayan Ruwa in Maradun local government area of Zamfara State. Several illegal refining sites and overhead tanks were effectively destroyed in the Niger Delta region during patrols conducted by air components of Operation Delta Safe over Ohaji, Egbema in Imo State, Degema and Calthon Channel in Rivers States. To drug interception, a businessman in Lagos excreted 68 wraps of cocaine following his arrest at the local wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja. Salwat Khalil Ibrahim reports that of the National Drug Enforcement Agency also made arrests in Edo State.
The 36-year-old Onitsha-based businessman was arrested at the early hours of Thursday, 8 August 2024 at the old domestic terminal of the Lagos airport while attempting to board a flight to Abuja, where he was scheduled to join another flight to Vietnam at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. The suspect was under NDLEA surveillance following intelligence report. He was thereafter intercepted by NDLEA operatives who moved him into excretion observation, where he spent the next 12 days excreting the cocaine pellets weighing 1.282 kilograms. The agency also arrested 5 cross-border female drug traffickers at the Seme border while back to Lagos from Ghana. Leader of the syndicate, a 42-year-old, has been under NDLEA radar before being tracked and arrested on Wednesday, 21st August, along with other members of her gang. At the point of their arrest, a total of 14 packs of loud were recovered from hidden parts of their bodies. Similarly, operatives at the Tinkan Seaport in Lagos on Friday, 23rd August, intercepted 2 containers which came from Mundra port in India. No fewer than 1,596 cartons of codeine-based syrup containing 319,200 bottles of the opioid, worth about 2 billion naira, were recovered from the containers during a joint examination with other port stakeholders. 2 ladies were arrested by operatives in Benin City for online sales of illicit drugs. A 21-year-old was arrested with 30 cups of cookies and 17 slices of cake all laced with illicit substances. A raid operation at Ogada village of the state on Tuesday, 20th August, led to the arrest of a 50-year-old with quantities of cannabis. Drug raids were carried out in Kogi, Delta, and Yobe State during the week under review. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
In other news, the remains of the late Emir of Ningi, Yunusa Mohammed Danyaya, has been buried in accordance with Islamic teachings at the Emir's palace. Mohazu Hassan brings us details.
These are the teeming people of Ningi Emirates, family members, friends and sympathizers from across the country, paying their last respect known as the funeral prayer, led by the chief imam of Ningi, Dr. Usman Liman. After the funeral prayer, the remains of late Yunusa Muhammad Danyaya is buried according to Islamic rites at the Emir Cemetery. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, former governors of Bauchi and Jigawa states, former and serving legislators, as well as first-class emirs from across northern states and beyond, have attended the burial of the late emir, who was described as talented and responsible leader who has always put his subject first.
He is a father to all. He is a father to me. He has impacted positively to the growth and development of his emirate, and indeed Bauchi State, Nigeria as a whole. For me, it's a great loss. I commiserate with the people of Ningi.
It's difficult. We have lost a big man. We have lost an elephant. We have lost somebody with a big shoe. It's difficult to have his shoes filled.
Late Emir of Ningi, Yunusa Muhammad Danyaya, died at the age of 88 at a hospital in Kano after protracted illness. He survived by 4 wives, 25 children, and more than 100 grandchildren. In Bauchi, Moaz Hassan, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu commiserates with the people of Ningi Emirate and the Bauchi State government over the passing of the Emir of Ningi, Alhaji Yunusa Mohammed Danyaya. The monarch passed away in the early hours of Sunday. President Tinubu described the deceased as an illustrious leader who deployed the power and resources of his throne in the service of his community. He prays for the repose of the soul of the departed traditional ruler and condoles with the family and all those grieving the loss. Now, in other news, the Emir of Ilorin and Chairman Kwara State Traditional Rulers Council, Alhaji Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, rejoices with the Sultan of Sokoto and President General of Nigeria, Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Muhammadu Saad Abubakar, on his 68th birthday. A statement by the Emir's spokesman indicates that Alhaji Sulu Gambari describes the Sultan as a paragon of peaceful coexistence, bringing humanity across all tribes and religion together in Nigeria. He also commended the Sultan for championing peace and conciliation programs across the country and beyond as a traditional ruler and father for all. Now to the global scene. Africa set to receive her first batch of Mpox vaccines, 10,000 doses donated by the USA, and nearly 200 migrants rescued at the Mediterranean Sea. Kolo Mohammed brings us details on global updates.
Nations, including Africa, Thailand, Pakistan, and the Philippines, have been particularly hit hard by this virus. Africa is finally set to receive its first batch of Mpox vaccines, 10,000 doses donated by the United States. Mpox has two prominent strains, Clade 1b and Clade 2 variants. The delayed arrival of these vaccines in Africa, weeks after they became available in other parts of the world, has raised serious concerns about the global response to health emergencies. International agencies have been criticized for the slow distribution of vaccines to Africa, a continent that has been grappling with Mpox for decades. And it was another dramatic night on the Central Mediterranean Sea by an NGO Doctors Without Borders rescued nearly 200 migrants in 5 operations. As some migrants were spotted jumping into the water, some others were seen being physically pushed by a person who later drove away the distressed boat. A total of 191 migrants were brought to safety on board the NGO's ship, which safely sailed towards the Italian port of Salerno. As German police arrested the suspect behind a rampage which led to a raid near an asylum center in the city of Solingen, the chief of police and public prosecutor declared that a 15-year-old person arrested is only being charged with failing to report planned offenses in connection with the crime, while knives have also been seized, he said. Dispatch police groups are out on the trail of possible accomplices to deadly crime, and they believe a single man in their custody could not have planned and executed the crime alone. They killed 3 people and injured 8 others, 4 of whom are said to be in serious condition. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
Compared to last week's results, we hear Chelsea won their match today. Bade Adeleye will give us details of that match and other trending sports reports. Bade. Next is a quick look at the weather prospects for tomorrow, Monday.
Thank you for joining us. For Monday, there are very good signals for morning thunderstorms to the northeastern states, and these include parts of Borno, Yobe, Gombe, Bauchi, Taraba, and also parts of Kebbi State. Parts of Niger, Kwara, Plateau, and the Federal Capital Territory are also expected to experience morning rains accompanied with thunderstorms. To the southern region of the country, cloudy skies are anticipated, but by afternoon and evening hours, there are more chances of rains to the region, while the north, central, and the extreme northern region are expected to witness isolated cases of thunderstorms. And that's your weather for Monday. Please join us again.
Now you know the weather outlook for tomorrow. That's the news segment. And before we go on a break, I actually know that Claire's team won their match. And I have been wondering why Claire has been very quiet about that. Did you place a bet on that?
No, I haven't been quiet, Elizabeth. Actually, Arsenal won their match 2-0 against Wolves. But let me just let you know that Man City, Arsenal, and Brighton are the top three clubs at the moment, first, second, and third. And we know that football is not just a flash in the pan performance.
At all.
You know, it's all about securing the goals, you know, and of course staying on top. And that's what Arsenal, you know, has been consistent.
You are very optimistic. We'll watch the drama. Don't worry. All right, let's go on a break now. More to come with our captain, Claire.